Here's a couple of problems. Right now, things are speeding up. So AI is not actually a strategy, it's actually an accelerant. So if you've currently got a good offer, if you've currently got a good marketing message, if you're currently getting some levels of success with getting people enrolled using lead magnets, either they're coming to your webinar, they're coming to your seminar, they're downloading your stuff, AI is an amazing accelerant for you. If, however, you haven't got that, then AI is not the strategy you need. You need the strategy first, and then we put AI into place to give it some legs and make it go further. Hey there, expert. Rana Saini here. See, the wealthiest business coaches and consultants see business success as the system. This podcast, The Expert Advantage, contains real-world, in-the-trenches business advice that our clients use to gain a strategic advantage in growing their million-dollar expert business. It's my hope that you use these short lessons and insights to gain your strategic advantage in growing your expert business, and maybe one day soon partner with us at the Expert Project to take your expert coaching and consulting business to $1 million and beyond. I hope you share and enjoy. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of ChatGPT and AI, and you're probably sick of hearing all of these little widgets and ideas come up. Now, I want to say, over the last couple of months, AI has been partly a big distraction. I think it's taken people who don't have a very good strategy in business, and people have flocked to it hoping that AI will save them. And I think people are realizing right now that AI is not a strategy to save your business, it's a strategy to enhance your business. And how can we apply AI to help us go faster and get results quicker? So what we've been doing is strategically applying AI inside of some of our systems and tools and frameworks. And today, I want to share with you how we've been able to do that for optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Now, for those of you who aren't on LinkedIn, I don't know if there's many of you, and I know we're here on Facebook, which is really meta and weird. But one of the things I will say is that LinkedIn is an amazingly powerful database. I don't know how else to say it to people. All of your opportunities for business, if you're a coach or consultant, are on LinkedIn. Whether you understand how to use LinkedIn, whether you do use LinkedIn and don't get any leads from it, or whether you're using LinkedIn and getting great business from it, LinkedIn has so many new features that it didn't have a year ago. And it all starts with, how do we optimize your LinkedIn profile so you stand out as a powerful first impression, so people know who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. So let's dive in today. By the way, if you want a copy of the workbook, just literally jump below and just type in workbook. See, optimizing your LinkedIn profile, there are people who will charge you thousands of dollars to do it. Now, why don't you need to pay for this is because ultimately there are only 5 or so key things you need to consider if you really want to rank highly, stand out, and use your profile to generate a few extra leads and appointments each week. And I want to take you through those today. So we've probably got about 10 or 15 minutes together. If you found this incredibly valuable, please let me know in the chat below. Say hello, say hi. That's always nice. Okay, let's dive in right now to the profile optimizer. On LinkedIn, there are a couple of things that are really important. Every single one of us we are more visual than we are anything else. We have a nerve that goes straight through our eyes into our brain directly. It's a superhighway of recognition. It's a superhighway of information. And so what we see, we tend to believe. What we see, we buy into a little bit more. If your profile looks trash, or it looks old, or your profile photo looks a little bit dodgy, or you've got an old photo of yourself, or your background looks weird, most of the time people are going to make a judgment, get this, in 7 seconds or less. In fact, most of the time now, given with our attention's divided so much these days, it's probably like 3 seconds. So the first thing you want to have a look at is, how can you make your profile look as like you as possible? So if I was to do this, do we look the same? So the answer is yes. And so the first thing that we want to do is make sure that your profile picture is dialed in. Now, what's going to happen here, I'm going to take you through the key features and benefits now. And then right at the end of this, I'm going to go through a prompt list, and I'm going to explain how we use ChatGPT and AI to get you help faster. My goal is to help you optimize your LinkedIn profile in less than 15 minutes using the power of AI. So I'm going to give you the ingredients, and then we're going to cook the cake. Cool? By the way, if you're here watching this right now, just let us know. Even if you're watching this on replay, say hello. I'd love to hear from you guys and see who's giving us a watch. So profile photo is obviously critical. So people need to see you. It's digital networking. If you walk into a room, the first thing people do is check out your face. And so they check out your face and then they make judgments about you from there. Isn't that lovely? So next thing we want to do is look at your headline. And the headline should clearly articulate not what you do, as in, not who you are, but what you do. Finally, we want to look at the background builder and figure out what does your background visually say about the work that you do, the type of work that you do, the kind of value you bring. Your summary gives people a brief introduction about who you are, what you do, and how you can help. Social proof amplifier allows you to take some of the results that you've been getting for clients, and we'll show you how to inject that in a special place inside of the LinkedIn profile that most people miss. And finally, the social URL hack. There's now 2 of these. So really important. We're going to go through each one of these quickly, and then I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to make things a lot faster and a lot easier. Cool? By the way, if you want a copy of the workbook, just type in workbook and we'll give you a copy of that and help you take things to the next level on LinkedIn. So let's dive in first. Professional photo. Do you have a professional photo? Professional photo just means something that, like if you look at the circle that I'm in right now, this is about as good as the photo that you want. It should be clear up close. It shouldn't be anything. I'm going to trip over a chair. There is a chair behind me. If a lot of people either do this, where they're so far back, this is not a good photo, right? People can hardly see you. Or you have the opposite where people do this, where they're like, or they kind of, people have done something where they're looking off to the side, right? And it's like, really at the end of the day, you think of it like networking. I want to look directly in the camera, smile, right? Not a license photo, smile photo, right? So you want to, people want to see you and know that when they talk to you, you're going to look the same. So don't use a photo that was 15 years old. Use a photo of what you look like right now. Do your hair and makeup if that's what you want to do, but that's really important. So don't need to use company logos all over yourself. In my photo, you can just see there, it's basically just my head. Make sure it takes up at least 60% of the frame. By the way, with the tools that are available, LinkedIn do rank or de-rank you based on these things. So, you know, if your photo looks good, there are measures that LinkedIn take to make sure that you stand out. Cool. Choose a background that isn't distracting. It's white. And what we've actually done in the past is added a ring around our photo so it stands out even more. I don't know why we haven't done that. That's a good question. I'm going to ask the team about that. The second thing is the Profile Optimizer Framework Headline Amplifier. This is a big one. What versus who? So what we often say is, what is the best way to describe what you do in 14 words or less? Don't be cheesy. Don't be markety. Just basically say exactly what it is that you do. I reckon a good formula is, just for starters, I help B2B coaches and consultants turn their knowledge and expertise into profitable businesses. So I, verb, plus audience to verb, plus outcome. Insert your keywords there. So I, what's a doing word? I help, I assist, I create, I transform, I develop accountants to save more time, to grow their practices, whatever it is. So I help accountants build their practices. I help doctors create profitable clinics, whatever it is. I help engineers transform bridges. I'm just joking. There's a lot more to an engineer than that, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, so we want to look at it and you go, look, I help B2B coaches turn their knowledge and expertise into profitable businesses. And then you see I've got these hashtags. I'm going to go through those in just a second. Now, team, these things are really important. Are they critical? No, but these are the 1%ers. Because when I come to your profile, when you come to my profile, you're going to be making judgments about me, just as I will be making judgments about you. And I look at it and I go, cool, what is it that I do? In 5 seconds or less, what is it that I do? And everything happens is what the most important things that happen are what we call above the fold. So your LinkedIn profile is not actually a profile or a resume. It's actually a landing page. and you are the business development tool for your business. So the landing page, everything above the fold is important. That means that when you look at my profile or I look at your profile, anything below the fold, which requires me to scroll, is not necessarily important anymore, as important as the stuff that's above. So this section here is critical, and I'm going to show you in a second how we optimize this section. Cool? So as you look at it, you go, cool, we can scan the QR code. People might want to look at that. I don't know. We just try new things all the time. We find this really works. It works for us, and we can scan it. So most people will get their phone, if they want to, scan the QR code out of curiosity, download a book. Okay? You'll see that we also have contact info. So if people click that, loads up contact info. You'll see that we have our next 5-day challenge. People click that. It takes them to our 5-day challenge. We can actually track where it's come from. So we know that people are coming from LinkedIn. And you'll see that we've got creator mode on. A lot of that stuff, not important. You're probably going to ask, what does this mean? What does that mean? How is this important? What is this important? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this here is the most important stuff about you right now and the background. So let's get clear on that. So what I'd like you to think of, if you haven't already, is what is your one sentence headline? Don't say, I am the managing director, MDC, XYZ, PTY, LTD. No one really cares. No one wakes up going, you know what, I need an XYZ, MD, PTY, LTD, graduate with honors at. People don't really need that. What they want to know is, what is it that you do and how can you help them? So turn your profile into a landing page. Don't keep your profile as a resume. Okay, so unless you're looking for a job, in which case, different strategy. Sell yourself, but if you have a business, you want to sell them on you. So that's the difference. Background builder. Background builder, as you can see with us, we have a pretty clear background. You've got 7 seconds to capture your prospect's interest. So choose something that's relevant to your target market. For example, if I just go into anyone's profile, I don't know who this guy is, Mick, but seems like a good dude. Now I look at that and I go, what is that in the background of Mick's profile? It looks a little digital, right? Well, let me share that with you. It looks a bit digital, right? So you go, cool. I look at that and I go, yeah, we make apps, award-winning mobile app development. I don't really know what that is, so Mick's losing a lot of opportunity there because for me, visually, it looks like there's a stack of steel. I don't know. I could go to another one and I might go, let's type in Ben. Ben looks like a nice guy. Let's see what Ben's got. Okay, so Ben runs marathons or he does events. So Queensland, he does events. Chief Executive Officer, Events Management, Queensland. So I go to Ben. Ben does events. So if I'm interested in running a fitness event or something, Ben might be the type of guy I go to. And he talks about events and you can see he's got a lot of events and stuff going on. Good on Ben. Now, Chez. Let's look at Chez. Chez is, again, sponsorship manager. He's a sponsorship manager of circles and lines. Cool. Sexy. Or is it? His photo looks very much like it's Photoshop. It doesn't look real to me. So not to pick on Chez. By the way, Chez, if you ever like to have a chat, we could help you with some of this stuff. He's got his website here, but I look at that and I go, it just looks drawn. Does it mean that it's a bad photo? Not at all. It just means that why wouldn't you have a real photo of yourself? It's if I came into a business networking event and I just drew all over my face. Weird, right? So there's a lot of stuff that's missing. And that background is not doing any favors. So when I go into my profile or even one of my team's profiles, you'll see that we all have very similar backgrounds, right? For us, right? Here we go. Backgrounds. And some of these people, look at them copying our strategy. It's fantastic. We put little ticks in it. It's great. It's good to see that we've helped people get their LinkedIn profiles up to spec. So as you can appreciate here, guys, that's as simple as it needs to be. Use something visual that links to what you do. If you're an accountant, potentially have charts and a picture of an activity statement or something. Yeah, is it cliche? Of course it is. But when you walk down the aisles of a supermarket, for example, you're looking at things, and if it says sauce, you know that there's sauce there. If it says flour or baking goods, you know there's baking goods there. Just quickly and easily give people a visual reference to the type of industry you're in and what you do, right? Pretty simple. Now, the next part is where it starts getting a little bit complicated because you've got to do some work. So here, pull out your LinkedIn profiles right now if you're watching along with me and have a check of this, right? So when I go into my profile, and we'll show you how we can use AI to write this in a second. So the AI stuff's coming, but you need to know what the basics are first. If I jump into my profile, you'll look at this thing here and it's called About. It used to be called your summary, but now they call it About. And if I look at our About, you'll see that the About section has nothing to do with what I do for me and my industry and my experience, and I like long walks on the beach. None of that. What it does is it shows people how I can help them. It shows people what I can do for them. So the question for you would be, how do you articulate the value that you give to a person such that they might say, actually, I probably need to, I'd like to have a chat with them, or I'd like to reach out to them, or I'd like to message them. And we obviously have a 5-day challenge, which is why we say join our 5-day challenge. If you'd like this, and by the way, guys, if you would like help with your offer, 5-day challenge. Spend some time with us. Let's get stuff moving. It's in your workbook. It looks like this. Happy days. Click the link. It's free. Let's spend some time together and I can help you create that for yourself. But can you see it's as simple as that? Now, when I look at that, I'm like, cool. What's the structure for it? Luckily, I've given you that structure right here. Basically, why we exist, how we get results for our clients, and if you're interested in how we can help you, they're the 3 main things that you need. And I'm going to go through in a second how we can optimize that, because the thing above here is really important, that you need to have keyword rich like social SEO. So if you want to rank for specific words, for example, if we want to rank for LinkedIn lead gen, if we want to rank for, or we want to rank for the marketing, or we want to rank for the word business coaching, or we want to rank for the word business growth, we want to use these keywords as much as possible in our summary. So I want to talk about, we offer LinkedIn lead generation and B2B marketing for business coaches, and I want to inject those words into as many places as possible. So how we do that is obviously there are these little edit tabs, but you can edit things and add those keywords in a number of different ways. And so I guess what I'm saying is, what are the 5 keywords that you want to rank for? What are the 5 keywords that you want to rank for? And they become your most important words that as you write things, you inject them in as many places as possible. You want to give me a little, I'll give you a walkthrough of what that looks like. For example, when I go into here, I can edit my profile and you'll see that I can add in all of these details. Marketing strategist. So my experience, here's a little hack, ready, is not where I've worked. My experience is the work I've done and the results I've got my clients. So each part of the things I do, I say, I'm a marketing strategist, I'm a business strategist, and you'll see that we've copy and pasted in the description the same kind of things over and over again, because what it does is it helps drive ranking. And we've added a testimonial, so it's not the experience that I've had, it's the experience my clients have had with me. It's the experience my clients have had with me. And so we go through a lot of this stuff, and our experience is the experience our clients can have with us and the experience that you as a client could have with us as well. So when you're reading this, you're reading it as a way of validating and verifying the kind of results that I've got. And that social proof equity, which we're going to go into a second, goes all the way up. So if I wanted to edit any of these sections, you'll see I just press the little edit button. It pops open here, and you can see that I can inject in the description of these things as many keywords as possible. And in these keywords, I can actually add skills. So skills also appear in your skills section. So could I go digital strategy? Yep. And by the way, these things are changing all the time. Add media. I could add more media. Like when I go add media, add a link, upload media. We could maybe add more. Things are changing a lot on LinkedIn. So these are ways, a little 1%ers to make you rank and look a little bit better than everyone else. Okay, I won't edit anything now in case something stuffs up, and I don't want to upset this training with you guys. The last thing is what we call the social proof amplifier. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into this. If you want more information about this stuff, join us for our 5-day challenge. Peers, prospects. Who are your ideal prospects? And who do you want to be connected to? We teach our clients to connect only with people who are interested in buying from them. We're not interested in connecting with Aunt Mildred, Mother Mary, Uncle Bob. These are our colleagues, people who would never buy from us. If you want to use LinkedIn as a networking tool and a way to generate business, only connect with people who would be interested in buying from you. Otherwise, you dilute your opportunity pool. So 50% of your audience is people who would never buy from you. Every time you put a post out, 50% of the people who see it, maybe more, maybe less, will never, ever do anything with that information. So whilst you might get likes, you'll never get leads. So you got to make a decision right now today. Are you optimizing for likes or are you optimizing for leads? That's a tough decision, but you got to make that. And it's harsh to cull people from your network, but you're either part of someone else's strategy or they're part of yours. And I would suggest that you should have a very clear strategy for using LinkedIn, because the cost of not having a strategy on LinkedIn is in the thousands. And right now, if you've done some stuff years ago on LinkedIn, it's a fertile ground for creating opportunities for your business. So we want to get clear on who they are. And what we say as tips are, surround yourself with people that want to do business with you, not people who are your peers. Surround your prospects with proof that you are the only credible choice to do business with. As you'll see, there is a couple of places in your profile that you can do that. By the way, I'm going to get to the AI stuff in just a second, so get ready. So inside of this, what we do is at the top, we have a featured section. In the featured section, what that allows you to do, team, is it allows you to add in testimonials. We also have a newsletter. I've got 4,500 subscribers. Now, these testimonials are from people who have got great results. So we click this button here and you can add in all of your testimonials that you need from clients. So what people see is, wow, this guy's getting great results for his clients. Remember, this is a landing page, not an online resume. As you move through this, the other place to do it is to get recommendations. Get recommendations from everything that and everyone that knows you, has done business with you, because these rank really highly. So make sure that you get your team, your friends, your family, all of the people, everyone that would be able to have an experience with you to recommend you. Do that today, right? You could probably get 2 or 3 today just by asking. Okie doke. So how do we use AI to do some of this stuff? Fantastically important. Last hack. Ready? Hey there, expert. So listen, our mission here at the Expert Project is to positively impact the world of other business coaches and consultants just like you. We want to help them make more impact, have more income, and have a positive influence on the world. And see, the only way we can do that is if you've heard something in today's episode that moved you, created an insight, changed your perspective, or gave you an aha moment. All I'd ask you to do is take 10 seconds, rate, and review this podcast so together we can help spread the word about this podcast and have a positive influence in someone else's world. Your LinkedIn profile. What does your LinkedIn profile URL say as a keyword? For example, if I go to Mick's got his name, no one wakes up and says, you know what, I need to work with Mick if they don't know Mick. You've got Bree, she's obviously done herself as well. You've got Ben, I've got Ben, and it's a bunch of numbers. So I look at that and I go, what a waste of opportunity. Why wouldn't you rank your keyword? Because when you can put your keyword in there, it's your literally your tunnel, your way in to Google. Because Google search bots come through and they go, oh, runner, and then keyword, and they'll rank you for that on Google. So if someone searches your name on Google or someone searches for the keyword, you will come up. Your profile actually comes up in images. So if I go, I've actually got mine B2B marketing strategies. Sweet. How do you change it? On your profile, you got a public URL here. Click that button and you can change it a certain amount of times. So make sure you're clear on what keyword you want to rank for. If you're an accountant, you might say accountant, the accountant, and you can edit it here, right? And when you edit it, it says, your profile must contain 3 to 100 letters, blah, blah, blah. Edit your profile for your keywords. It's super, super valuable. Okay, so don't just have your name, have what you do, not who you are. Have what you do, not who you are. Super important. Everyone with me? Last thing that's really important, most of you miss out on this, is everyone's, I've got to get my website up to date before I start LinkedIn. I've got to get you don't. You need to get your profile updated before you start LinkedIn, before you start generating leads. No one cares about your website if no one knows how to get there. So what you want to do is there's these little links here that you can click. Now, click on this button here, go through your profile, and what it allows you to do is update your headline, update all the information you probably missed, and you go all the way to the bottom and it says website. You can actually put in any link you want to a landing page, to an event, to anything that you would like to drive people to your website, and you can make the link say anything you want. As you can see, ours says join our next 5-day challenge. Bang. And we send people a link. And we've actually got this here so we know when people click it, we know where it comes from. Okay, so that's a hack. Use that. Look, I go to so many people's profiles and they still haven't used it. I'm like, what are you doing? Okay, so who wants to see how to use some of these things called prompts? And we're going to write up a profile pretty easily and simply. By the way, if you want a copy of this workbook, just type in workbook and we'll give you a copy of these prompts. These prompts are really important for you. You can use them, play around with them, get some ideas, get inspired. And sometimes if you just want to get a little bit lazy, let's be honest, just use these things and we'll rock and roll. So you want to jump into ChatGPT. For those of you who don't know what ChatGPT is, maybe you've been like living under a rock, but now is the time to sign up for it. It's pretty much free. So get it going. And we want to just ask it the question. Imagine it's a human being. We want to ask it the question. Something I prepared earlier. We jump in here and say, I'm going to ask you to help me optimize my LinkedIn profile. Before I begin, the name of my business is The Expert Project. What do? I work with business coaches, blah, 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 blah. Done. I've worked with everyone, business coaches, implementing marketing strategies, new business, especially LinkedIn marketing campaigns that lean into the power of social and professional online networking. Right, I'm just adding as much richness as I can. My target customers are business coaches and business consultants. Guys, listen to this. The more specific you can be, the better the output you're going to get. So don't just go in going, oh, I'm just going to add in some bits and pieces and be lazy and ChatGPT will do the work for me. The more information you can get, the better you're going to get back. And so we want to get really clear. The problem I solve for my customers is consistent lead generation from business coaches and consultants, especially organic LinkedIn marketing to turn connections into conversations into clients, right? As an example, I'm just giving you guys some examples right now. Consultants, keywords and phrases I like to be associated with. Aha, this is what you'd like to be associated with. These are your keywords. Keywords and phrases I would like to be associated with my profile. Coaching, LinkedIn, marketing, lead generation. Cool, there you go. Business coaching. LinkedIn. So I might add those words together. LinkedIn marketing, lead generation, and yeah, let's try that. Lead generation, growth. Cool. Everyone ready? Now this is the power of it. I press this button here. It'll just add this in. So that's great. So ChatGPT is going to do its work. It's punching along. It's going to start generating some stuff. It's actually starting to add in the headlines, the background images, everything. Now, as I'm doing this, you might say, Rana, where do I get this information from? I've given it all to you here in the prompts. I've made this as easy as possible. By the way, team, if you're getting value from this, please reach out to me. Let us know that you've got value from this. This is free. We do this to help you guys stay ahead of the curve. And so let us know if you're interested in, and by the way, below this, say hi, thank you, just so we know you're there and you're seeing this. The reason I love this is because I want to see you guys crush it on LinkedIn. The more people who are crushing it on LinkedIn, the more advocates we're going to get and the more people who will say, actually, this does work, right? Because I truly believe it's the #1 place for business generation on the planet. Headline, background, about section, look at it. It's giving me everything I need. How good is that? So I then move to the next part, everyone. The next prompt is who versus what. In 14 words or less, can you give me 5 variations that I can use in my LinkedIn profile? In 5 words, 14 words or less. That's a pretty good prompt. So the question would be, what should we give there? So if I go back up here, let me find this for you. I don't want to have to type it again, but I will if I have to. Let me see if I can copy and paste this just to make it easy for you. No, great. Here we go. So I say this. Everyone ready? Okay, that's great. Let's customize it a bit more. Let's start with the headline. Based on the context I provided, in 14 words or less, give me 5 variations I can use using this formula. This formula was what I gave you guys earlier. So here's an example. Click the button. It's going to generate me the information that I need, of course. There you go. So it's doing the work with the formula we've given it. Okay, so you can choose one or at least edit one. I'm sure there's one there that would be good. I assist business professionals to maximize ROI via LinkedIn marketing campaigns. Wow, that's great. Probably better than your headline right now. Let's be honest. So it blows me away because I just think 6 months ago we didn't have this. So let's jump on it. Let's get into it. The next thing that we want to look at is background image. Now, Rana, how do we get background images out of ChatGPT? Really good question. The prompt that you want to use, and well, I'm just looking at my computer here to the sides. Now let's move on to the background. So here we go. We're going to copy and paste this. And I go ping. Great. Now let's move on to background. Based on the image I provided, write a mission statement. Based on the content provided. Yep, mission statement. There it is. 5 variations. Go. So this mission statement you can put on the back of you get a nice image and use a background builder to do it, right? That's pretty cool. So now I've got a nice image and some words to go with it. Now the thing is the about summary. Whoa, this is where we're starting to get really, really specific. So if I jump in now to the workbook, these are the prompts that we want to use. But notice that we want to get keywords and we want to help people rank. So what we do is get this prompt. I'm just going to copy and paste from something I prepared earlier, so just bear with me for a second. The reason this is great is because often people struggle with this the most. And it's not necessarily something that we shouldn't be struggling with because we've got these amazing tools. Great, let's move on to the about section. Okay, so here's what we do. Okie doke. Let me just copy and paste something for you guys. Copy and paste. Here we go. And we do this. Bang. Why we exist. Great. Probably if we write it in a format. Why we exist. This is what we do. Our mission. Who we help. How we get results for our clients. Interested in how we can help. You can reach us here. Include website booking, etc. Great. Let's do it. So click that. And it's going to do the about section summary for us. Amazing, right? Amazing. So we just write that out. These are the prompts. And then the next is the last prompt is what we call social URL hack. Based on the context provided, what would someone type into Google if they were searching for my service? What a great question. So rather than figure it out yourself, leverage the power of AI to find out what the information, the answers might be, and follow the example. So here we go. Let me copy and paste this. And by the way, after this, I'm going to actually be updating my LinkedIn profile because let's be honest, ChatGPT has a lot more data points than I could get my little brain around. But this is what it looks like here. Based on the context I provided, what was someone typing Google if they were searching for my service? Best URLs. And I go, enter. And it's going to give me, if someone was looking for your service, they might use terms like LinkedIn marketing for business coaches, lead generation. So look at that, LinkedIn marketing for coaches, coach lead generation, LinkedIn lead strategist, LinkedIn for business coaches. Boom. How good is that? Guys, that's the power of ChatGPT. When you have, remember at the start of this, I said, if you have a strategy, AI is an accelerant. It'll help you get to where you want to go faster. And in literally 10 minutes with the prompts I've given you, you could revolutionize your very own LinkedIn profile and make massive enhancements to it very cheaply, very easily, very simply. So guys, listen, hopefully that's been helpful today. Hopefully that's been of value today. Let us know if it has. Love to hear from you on socials. In the meantime, take care and bye for now.